Oh my gosh. Your boy! Yes! 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 Hello everybody, it is Train Boy here, and today I am on ACC, and I am going to be showing you a 1-hour league race that I recently did with Racing Pals at Indianapolis. So as you can see here, I get a pretty good start, and the car right ahead, I believe that is the 71 car, or not 71 car, that's James, I forget his number, but he gets a horrible start, then gets almost killed there, that was almost deadly, and then a little bit of mistake, tap, and he's around, fixes him, but then I spin and get collected by a few people. Almost collected a few more times there, but I'm luckily able to spin it back around and get restarted. And then immediately, not immediately, people are spinning in front of me, so I slam on my brakes and get shoved right up the rear. So, you know, it's always a fun time here at Indianapolis. So now I'm going to switch and show you guys a quick outside footage of what just happened. See kind of more of what happened. So you can see here, I kind of get stuck in that middle. Then there's the contact ahead, which then I get pushed wide, accidentally hit off Sench, feel bad for him, the 24. And I just get bounced off a few people. Almost hit that Audi there. Was already involved in one incident. That black McLaren went flying in. Then I get pinballed, or plinko, no. Pool-shotted, there it is. Right into another car, or almost into another car, but save it, which was very good. Then back onto the onboard here, you can see I'm now behind those GT4s, all of them just kind of stuck, as I believe that is Daniel Scott, who you'll see a good amount in this video, goes off just there in front of me. I try and go for the move here on the Audi, but I notice I brake way too late, dodge that McLaren barely, don't kill anybody there somehow. Poor Cheba was not having a good race, he's off on the right there in the 951. But then there's Daniel Scott in the 31 car? Yes, the 31 car. That blue, white, and black car with a little bit of gold accents. And so I'm like, okay, fine, I got this. I just gotta get through some GT4 pack before I can finally get to him. But I think I can get to him and beat him. Because I've raced Daniel a lot recently. He goes for a huge move here on deep, and I go, whoa, because he cut across my nose. That was really sketchy, and I almost lost it there. I almost lose it there again, because I'm trying to get past deep, which was very sketchy. Then the number 14 car decides to go for a gap that doesn't exist because he's racing driver, I guess. And then I'm like, okay, that was dumb. Then I just brake on the inside perfectly, so good that I just get back past them, and I'm like, very nice. And that's all I can say to that, because it felt really good to do it. He annoyed me a lot during this race. At least the first half of it, because he was sending it a lot. But, you know, it happens. So I get stuck behind this Audi and this McLaren. I'm losing touch a little bit with Daniel. I'm like, okay. I know he has damage. I have damage. I have 19 seconds of damage. He has 15 seconds of damage because we were talking in a VC. That's why I don't have an actual main recording of this, and this is just replays. But I'm flashing the McLaren like, hey, I need to go. And I'm like, okay, fine. It's fine. But then the freaking BMW sends it up my inside. I'm like, really? And so I just pull a, what I would call a very nice move around the outside. Reminiscent of Colton Herta at this year's Indy Grand Prix. Not, of course, the Indy 500, but the Indy Grand Prix. And then I am now coming up towards the back of the McLaren. And this is only lap 2. The first, like, 4 laps of this race, for me, were so chaotic. Like, literally so much happened that when I looked up and saw that there was still 50 minutes left, I almost cried. Because it was a tough one. McLaren understeers out of the way, which is perfect. And then that BMW gets out of the way, which is very nice. So now later on in the race, a little bit, I think it's just like 2 laps after, like that last clip, I'm now back behind Daniel Scott, like right on his tail. I'm like, okay, I know where I'm faster than him, I just need to actually commit to it. And, you know, that's my biggest problem. I have commitment issues, you know. But I'm like, okay, so I just need to figure out where he's weak. Where can I pass him? Definitely not here. That would be a dumb move. Very dumb move. It's not a good idea. It's basically what I'm going through in my head. And so I'm just looking, and I was getting a lot of snaps here at this part. Very big catch there. If that had gone the wrong way, it would have been dang right into that wall. Would have been dead. So I was about like a second faster than him on this lap, and I'm like, okay. I know I'm going to struggle a little bit in the slipstream because Porsche things, I actually rely on aero. But I also know he has damage, so he's going to be a little draggier. I'm a little draggier, so we're kind of even. The odds are evened. I believe he has more side damage, though, so his top speed would be more effective. My rear damage was killing me in these corners, which I'm glad. I would later accidentally fix it. As you can see, as I almost spin right there a couple of times, I kind of got used to it. It was that bad. That's when you know it's bad, is when you have to get used to it to just drive with it. So then Daniel, there was a little bit of netcode. There always is going to be with ACC and any racing game. It's the way that games work. So I almost hit his rear bumper right there because I outbraked myself a little bit. But I don't, so we're fine. We're dandy. And then coming through here, we're also catching up to Kenny up ahead, who was in the number 90. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know he is doing like 140s, maybe 139. I'm doing like 137s with damage, so I know I can get past him. I just need to get past Daniel first. So then coming through is the final corner of Indy. Flat through here, it is very sketchy. It is actually a corner because it's hard. I'm like, okay. So I'm losing time right now. I set like a 138 there. Getting a little bit of netcode there, but it's fine. I go down to his inside, just trying to scare him, and then all of a sudden he brakes way earlier than expected. I use the curb on the inside on the right and just go clean around his outside on the T2. Maybe able to get the move done after a little bit more pushing. And then now I'm like, okay. On to the next one. On to Kenny. Let's go for it. Bronco country, let's ride. And now, later in the race, just a little bit later, it's only about 5 laps, you can see Kenny is right ahead of me. Now, you might have seen that yellow flag, and that's because on the inside of the corner there, right there, that was Ed Christetter, who had a wheel malfunction, otherwise known as his USB cable fell out of the back of his wheel. And so he had no paddle shifter, so he couldn't do the, you know, shifting thing, which is kind of important. So we got stuck in 3rd gear. So I'm like, okay, I gotta chase down Kenny here. I got this. This is gonna be great. I'm loving life. I'm feeling good. And so I'm like, sitting here now behind him, trying to figure out where he's weak, where I can get him. And there's another car, the 420, up ahead. I'm like, I need to get past Kenny so I can get past him. I just need to keep on trucking. Just build it back up. And now coming through the S's section, I know he is a little weak here. I don't know if he had any damage. I don't believe he did. But then coming through here, I get a really good run. I'm like, maybe? And I'm thinking, I can go for a move here. It's fine. Nope, he has top speed. And I can't go for a move. I'm not racing another Porsche, I'm racing an Aston. I have no top speed. Then I get right up, nestled up pretty much behind him. Almost have a spin there, or two. And get in the slipstream there. Getting towed along. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. At this point, I'm just working through it. Almost kill him there because I outbraked myself because I was not expecting it. A little bit of a dumb move by me. Touches the grass there on the inside, and I'm like, okay. So he's pushing. I know he's pushing, trying to keep me behind. Makes a mistake there, completely missed that apex. I try and capitalize on that mistake, but he blocks me very well. have to downshift to get the, like, speed back up. And then he just gets a little bit of oversteer, touches the grass, and loses. I'm like, okay, I am fine with that. So, once again, skipping a little bit ahead in the race, I am now coming up behind the 420 car, the Stand With Ukraine car. And I was faster than him in most corners, even with damage. I don't believe he had damage. Hard to tell. But, I'm like, okay, cool. Get up behind him. Or don't even get up behind him because he's washing out a lot. Now I get up behind him. In the slipstream. We have the same top speed, basically. But I'm staying as long as I can in that slipstream. Brake at the 300 board, just send it in. I'm already past him before he even tries to turn in. I don't know if that's a good thing, but, you know. It got me the position, so I'm fine with it. That's all I'm saying. Any complaints about it, please send them to Sim Racing Stewards. And the fact that he didn't report it, so, yeah. So now this is where the fun begins, because remember how Edgar Stetter, that scary man, he lost his, paddle shifters? Well, he plugged them back in, and now he's right behind me, and I got GT4s right in front of me. I'm like, this is great. So I try and pass this Audi here, but he doesn't fully let me through. I'm like, okay. Still on my inside here. I go out wide to try and just get past them. Me and Ed both passed them, and I'm like, because that is the scariest thing in the mirror. If you don't know who Edgar Stetter is, he is a very fast guy. Fast guy. One of the fastest sim racers I ever known. Scary. Just scary. And so he just sends it down my inside. I'm like, I was not expecting that, but okay, I get it. I have lessened braking distance due to my damage. So, yeah. Kind of makes sense. The fact that he was able to just go and go right by me. So, yeah. I mean, he's also just terrifying, and I lost like 5 seconds on that lap. It was ridiculous how bad the GT4s were sometimes in the corners. And then I come past that Alpine. Maybe I could keep pace. Nope. Nope, he's gone. Ed's gone. Goodbye. So then later in the race, I'm like getting to the point where I'm almost out of fuel. And my tires were scrubbing a lot. And I'm just like, this is not good. Like, I'm not going to pit, do one more lap. Nope. And then I got to snap, and I'm just like, nope, I need to pit. The car is telling me I need to pit. So pit. Don't be an idiot. That's how you crash. I did not know where the pit entrance line was, and I was like, okay, there it is. Broke. And it came in at 49 kilometers an hour when the speed limit is 50. I'm like, ooh. And this is a very long pit lane. It takes a while. So I pull in, hit my pit board, get up on the jacks. First time getting a clean stop in like months. And then after getting out of the pit lane, getting a pretty good stop, getting my damage repaired, coming out of the pits, there is Darkius, or Pierre Moreno, in his 22 Audi, after switching from the Porsche. And I'm like, oh boy. Having him behind you is not as bad as Ed, but it's still pretty bad. So it's still kind of scary to be like, okay, there's a really fast guy behind me. I'm screwed. I'm like, okay, he's blue flag. I'm blue flagged right now. And we're both in a VC, and I'm like, Dark, go around me. I'm gonna lift here. There was somebody like right behind me, and I'm like, I don't want to lose time. So I lifted a little bit, and I got behind him. I'm like, I wonder how long I can keep pace with him. It did not last long. I lasted maybe like a lap trying to keep pace with him. But that's still better than nothing. A little later, now, you can see Robin Mo has just passed me, and then I make a mistake. I hit the grass there. I'm like, okay, cut across here. It's fine. Get the car restarted. Whip that bad boy around. And I stay off because I know that there's a person nearby, and I get lapped right there. Like, that's fine. Everything's fine. This is okay. I'm okay with this. And then Joel is right behind me now, and I'm like, this is great. Loving this. I think he would later spin off, so it kind of helped me on that end. So a little while later, not waiter, a little while later, I have Cookie behind me now in his boatly. I'm like, okay, cool, this is fine. I'm gonna let him by. I'm chill. I was blue flagged up by him for a little while, but then because of my mistake earlier, now Hubble, who had a stop go 30 and was a clear like 10-15 seconds behind me, is now right there. Like, great, you idiot. Now in mistake has gassed you. Great job. Genius right there. So I'm now trying my best to push on and just make the end of the race. I think at this point there was about 8 minutes to go, 9 minutes to go, something like that. Very little time. And with letting Cookie by to 38 there, Hubble was faster. He was trying to get up behind me, tries to go down my inside, but my lovely Porsche brakes do me well. They do me justice. I love those things. So I think the best way to show this fight is not from an inboard camera, and that is from a outside camera. So skipping ahead a little bit in the lap, you can see it was close. I mean, we are neck and neck. And also, no, for anybody wondering, I am not actually sponsored by Amtrak. I wish. It would be cool. Amtrak, hit me up if this video blows up. Please. It would be cool. It would be fun. So, he really tries to get by me, and it's just not working. I'm like, okay. I just need to park the bus. Park it and make sure the handbrake is on. And lock every wheel with a wheel lock. Because at this point, I just need to hold this position, because this is for P14, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot to me, because of how bad this race went. And it started out with 36 people, about 10 of them GT3s, GT4s, so I would say more like 26 actual racers, so I'm like, okay, this is nice. So Hubble does not get the best exit there. I'm like, this is fine. I'm liking this. Cool, I think I can pull away here. Oh, and the NXX actually has top speed, unlike the Porsche. You absolute idiot. Why did you think you can actually pull away from him on a straight? So, now I'm just, like, pushing as much as I can just to scatter away. As John Mulaney would say, scatter! So, now I'm just pushing my best to get away from him. And he's really trying his hardest here to get past me, and it was a really good fight. And like I said, this was one of the longest fights I think I've ever had in sim racing for the longest time. It's been a while. But he was right behind me this entire time. And it's nerve-wracking. Like, you're just trying to race, and at the same time, I'm praying that what that's ahead of me, GT4 traffic, does not mess me up. Because if GT4 traffic messes me up, I'm not going to be happy. So this guy, I go to the outside. When he comes up, he almost hit me there. And I'm like, bro, I have no room. I'm there. He almost hit me, which was terrifying. Like, please hold him up a little bit. Nope, does not hold him up a single bit. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? You're joking. So, like, cool. I know Cookie will give me at least a little bit of stripping. Forgot the fact that Slipstream in ACC was 0.7 and not 0.4 like it is in EC. Which is annoying, but you know. Still we rise. And breaking into T1, Hubble does get a little closer there, but I still have the advantage braking-wise. He has the advantage when it comes to straight line speed. I have cornering and stuff. He has straight line speed and I think some high speed stuff, like cornering and stuff. but I'm just trying my best to keep ahead. V'ing this corner a lot because it's a good line, and also because I was getting understeer and oversteer at the same time, because, you know, just Porsche things. Coming up behind in deep cuts. I'm just like, okay, this is fine. That's steep to hold him up. He sadly couldn't. But I still get a little bit of separation here due to the fact that he had to pass, like, a pass instead of just being able to get by on the straight, which was nice. So it gave me a little bit of breathing room, not too much. Enough where the camera doesn't recognize him as behind me, which was nice. So I'm pushing, and then this is where it all falls apart. This Audi GT4, I'm trying to get a run here to keep ahead, and he just parked the bus on the apex. I'm like, okay. I almost get clipped by him there, and I'm like, seriously? It was not a good day for me passing GT4s. Almost all the GT4s are from the same team, so it's kind of worrying. But then he gets on my inside, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta hold the brakes and get past him. And I hold it down the inside, but with the understeer, I have to pull out of it a little bit, and he is able to get past sadly. I'm like, dang, that could have been cool. And that was a really, really good race right there. That was good racing. Don't know what happened to Roe there. Camera's like, what are you doing? He goes wide, and I'm like, okay, gotta just send it. And I try and get my nose alongside. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have a good line here, and then Porsche oversteer. I leave 11s. So, at the end of the day, I feel like P15 is still pretty good after getting demolished on the start. And I was still trying my best. I kept with him for, like, almost the rest of the race, but then the tires started to cook. And it's not good when your tires start to cook. You should not let them cook. Trust me. And so by the end of the race, he gets away from me, and it's sad. But this is the final lap, and I'm behind 2 GT4s, and I'm just like, I just want to end this race with not getting crashed out, but also not getting so slowed down that somebody who's behind me, because I think Joel was like 5 seconds behind me or something like that. I did not want to get past here. I'm like, okay, they're not going to be able to do passing here, so I'm just trying my best to get past both of them here. I'm like, okay, cool, this is fine. We made it. It's one more corner. Don't mess it up. Almost messed that one up. But I'm like, okay, one more corner. Don't mess it up. Don't. Okay, we're good. And we make it across the line. Let's watch that from the outside just to show how sketchy that was. So it's double jab into the corner, it's all fine. But then it's just completely sideways good. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.